Hello and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video I thought I would actually film a trailer tour slash what's in my trailer, because I actually won this trailer brand new probably about 4 months ago now from a giveaway website, and when I won it I couldn't find any tour videos of this exact trailer, because this trailer is a Cheval Liberte touring and it's got a tack locker in the front, and I couldn't find any walkabout videos of this trailer. So I thought I would do one today for you guys because it's such a nice lovely trailer, and if anybody is thinking of buying one I thought I'd give you my thoughts and how much I love it, which, spoiler, I do absolutely love it. So yeah, I thought I'd just basically go through the trailer and then also talk about what I keep inside the trailer, because it has, like I said, got a tack locker which allows you to leave stuff in it rather than a normal trailer where you have to tie things. This is got a dedicated tack locker at the front. So yeah, let's basically just get straight into it. I'll give you a walk around of what the trailer looks like and then show you inside and all the different features and stuff that it's got. So this is the trailer from the outside. Obviously I've got it in a blue colour, but I think it also comes in black, green and grey, but I went for it in the blue colour because I thought it would match my car nicely. So walking about it, the main difference on this trailer is actually the back. So normal Ife Williams trailers, I'll pop a picture up on screen, they've got folding out barn doors. This has got a drop down mesh, which I'll show you in a bit. But yes, it's just an absolutely gorgeous looking trailer, which, you know, the other popular trailer which I had actually before is an Ife Williams, and I did love my Ife Williams, but I will say I think this is super sturdy. I think it looks much sleeker as well. I'd say this is probably comparable size wise and looks wise to the HB X505. So this trailer, they do actually do it in a larger size, which is the Touring XL, which I think, and don't quote me, fits up to a 16.3. This trailer here, I probably wouldn't put anything bigger than about 16 hands. My pony's about 14.3, 15 hands, but it's a chunky cob and it does fit in it absolutely fine, but something much bigger I don't think would fit, just because of the tack locker in the front. But yes, they do a bigger version of this trailer, which like I said is the XL one. It has got a full size jockey door, which is super duper handy. Windows wise, it's obviously got more windows than your typical horse trailer, so it's got one either side and then two either side on the actual sides of the trailer. And then obviously because the back is mesh, it does also mean that you can actually pull the mesh down, which I'll show you what it looks like. Basically just stand on this little ledge and then pull this mesh down, and then it hooks on like that, so you can actually travel with the mesh down, which I do if I'm traveling on a long motorway journey. I do actually pull that down just because I think it's I would say safer, because it stops things flying in. That's my biggest worry when traveling on the motorway, is things flying in and hitting them in the eye. I've heard some really bad horror stories of things like that happening. So yeah, if I'm traveling on a mainly motorway journey, I do just pull this down, and then it's obviously super easy to roll back up. You literally just unhook it like that and then let it slide up. Another really cool feature on this trailer is actually the fact that the doors, the back doors, open obviously like a normal ramp. So you use these hooks and pull it down. This is obviously like a normal trailer, how you pull the ramp down, load the ponies up at the back, but it also does this. So yes, it also opens like a barn door, and then there is a rubber stopper that you can pop it into so that stays open. Now what I find this really handy for is what I've just done. I've just come back from a journey, an outing, and I've swept it all out, I've cleaned it out, and what it means is I can sweep directly out of the trailer rather than sweeping onto the ramp and then having to brush it off the ramp. I can just literally pop a bucket down here and sweep directly into that. So yeah, you will have to excuse it is a little bit wet in here because I have just given it a quick whiz out, which actually is another point of this trailer. I find it dries and handles the wet and the general usage of me traveling on a weekly basis really well. Like I said, I've had this about 4 months now and I do use it on a weekly basis. The only signs of wear that my trailer has got is my pony's kind of just like, when we turn around a corner, he just leans against the wall. So there are a couple of hoof marks on the side. Yeah, and again, don't quote me on these things. I believe it's completely aluminium, whereas like the older HB for Williams are wood panels with aluminium coating, I think. Don't quote me. But it's so sturdy. It feels great to tow. It's also really light. I think it's about 860 kilograms, which is about 100 kilograms less than an IFA. Really nice to tow. It's also got really good suspension. I think it's called Pullman 2 suspension, which this trailer's got, which is supposed to be a significantly better suspension for the horse travelling in than other competitor trailers. The other thing I do like about this trailer, well, there's a lot of things, but another thing I like is these little like plastic sheets, because obviously they're clear, so it lets the air in. It just feels really nice and light and airy in here, which my previous trailer, it did, even though it was bigger than this one, it did just feel a little bit more cramped. I think it's just because it's so light, so bright in here, that yeah, it just feels and looks great in my opinion. I'll show you a couple of other features around the front. Let me just close the door. It's probably a little bit late to say this, but please don't mind my hair. Like I said, I've been on an outing this morning. I've been to a pole clinic, so I think my hair's not looking the best, but you'll just have to bear with me with that. So the next thing that I like about this trailer is this door here opens like that, which is really cool. Obviously normally they open like to the side, which would then cover the side window, but instead just opens like this. And then to pull it down, you literally just grab that. You can also stand on this, but I do find that most of the time I can literally just reach up and pull it down, pop the Velcro back up there, and it closes. So super easy. Everything's really like lightweight as well. It's all hydraulic, which is great. And then going into the front of the trailer, which I would say is probably the best part of this trailer, which is obviously this. Now, I'm not going to lie, this has kind of like changed the game for me when going on outings and going out and about, because what it means is that my car can stay like clean, non-horsey, and I can pop literally everything that I take on a normal day-to-day outing, like a pole clinic, or if I'm going jumping or hacking somewhere, I pop literally everything in here. So yes, it literally just opens like that. You can actually lock them. I've got the key. I don't bother because I don't leave anything of value in here, but I suppose if you were going on an outing and going out hacking, you could obviously lock this, put something in there of value and lock it up so that you know that it's all safe. So yes, going in, like I said, this is the normal touring. So I do believe that the XL version, you can actually open this when the ramp is up, but with my trailer you do have to have this ramp down to get into the tack locker. I've not found that as an actual issue, to be honest, because obviously I only really go in here when I'm tacking up. I literally just open this door, I tie my pony up onto the baling twine right here, and it literally means I can just grab, tack up, and everything's really quick and easy. So yes, inside the tack locker you've got two saddle stands. I have a 16.5-inch saddle. I find it fits on absolutely fine, but I have read in other places that in this version, if you've got like a 17.5-inch saddle, it is a bit of a squeeze. You can get them in, but it's just more of a bit of a squeeze. So yeah, two saddle hooks, and it's also got two bridle hooks as well. So, oh, also a spare tyre. That's another thing that this trailer came with. Great that I've got a spare tyre, just in case, because you never know. And then there's like a little basket on the top, and then I'm not sure if you can see, but there's also some like little elasticated little storage things on here, which are handy to just pop things in. Also got a mirror as well, so on show days it means you can just check yourself and make sure that you look okay. So yeah, I thought, like I said, I'd just do also in this video like a what I keep in my trailer, because I have had people ask me what I keep in here. So I thought I'd just really quickly go through what I keep in here, because there are some like handy little tips and tricks that I've found along the way as well. So yes, let's do that. Like I said, there's a little storage thing up here which I keep a couple of like rugs and things in. I've actually got to take the main little mesh rug that I use when traveling home, but I keep everything basically that I use for traveling in my trailer, so that when I hitch up, all I've literally got to do is grab everything out of here. Obviously saves me a bit of storage at the yard as well. So I've just got one of those snuggly hood things in there, and like I said, I normally keep his little mesh travel sheet in the top, but that needs to go home to be washed. The next thing I keep in here is his travel head collar, and a spare lead rope. So you might have seen that I do actually leave a lead rope tied up in the front of the trailer so that when I load him up, I can just clip him on that. But one tip I think you should always do is travel with a spare lead rope, because you never know when your lead rope is going to break or something's going to happen to it and you don't have one. So I always travel this as well. So I'll load him up, clip him onto this, and then put this lead rope back in here. Probably could also have a spare head collar in here, because again, you never know if one's going to break when you're on an outing, and what the hell are you going to do without a head collar? I suppose you could load in the bridle, but yes, you never know. So I like to just have spares of things. So that's what I've got on there. And then obviously when I have this full, my bridle goes on there, because obviously this is in use because it's on my pony. And then it also does actually come with a little shovel and like a little rubber, like little brush thing. I find that really handy actually for cleaning it out. It does go longer, you can make the handle longer. Same with the shovel, again, just handy to have, you never know, just in case. I've then got a travel grooming bag, which in here, there's basically just one of everything. So I've got, very important, a high vis, because you never know when you're going to need a high vis. If you break down or something happens and you just need to get out on the road for whatever reason, I'd always recommend keeping a high vis just in case, because you literally never know. I've got some hoof oil in here, I've got some like coat shine spray, brushes, a hoof pick, basically just one of everything that I might possibly need, because I do find that sometimes I forget things if I'm going on like an early morning dressage or whatever. Sometimes I forget things, so yes, I always take that with me. So I've got a couple of like random bits, like I've got a pair of yard gloves. Again, you never know when you're going to need a pair of yard gloves. Today, I actually forgot my riding gloves for my outing, and I didn't have a spare pair, so I'm actually going to pop my spare pair of riding gloves in here, just in case that ever happens again, because I had to ride with no gloves on today, which I don't like doing. I've also then got like a packet of polos and some cordial, again, just in case. I think that's left over from when I went to camp. And then I think in the front pocket, yeah, I've got some like Selvi gel type things, like if he's cut himself or whatever and I just need to pop something on it to protect it. And then I've got some Equine No Fly Bar, which is basically a fly spray. Obviously that's in there from summer, but yeah, I basically just keep one of everything in here that I think I might ever possibly need, just in case. Obviously, other than riding gloves, which I clearly forgot this morning, which is very annoying. Then in the bottom, I actually got gifted these and I absolutely love them, and I keep them in my trailer. Yeah, a hat bag and a boot bag from Arena Saddles. They're really good quality. It's like fake leather on the bottom, but it just looks really, really smart, and it just means that everything's like kept together. Nothing's floating about in here. You know, I've got everything organised, so I always pop my boots in there and then pop my hat in here as well, and I just leave those in there and then pop them in when I'm going on an outing. So to be honest, that's pretty much everything. Oh, actually, not forgetting, nearly forget the side pocket. So in here, I keep just a little bag of treats, because I always give him a treat when he loads up nice, because he's a good boy. I keep one of these, I don't actually know what you call these, like a bungee, because when I tie him up, I always tie him up onto one of these, especially if I'm parked on grass, because he tries to just like eat the grass and graze while I'm stuff. So I keep one of those in there. And then down here, I've actually got my bridal dressage numbers. Again, just because I'm only ever going to use them when I'm going out and about. So I'll keep them in here so I never forget them. And I get to places I can just change my numbers over. So yes, that's pretty much everything I keep in the trailer. I will just do a final little show you like the hitch and everything, because it is very slightly different to a normal like Arthur Williams trailer. I'm comparing everything to an Arthur Williams trailer, but that's like the most popular trailer. It's what I had before I was going to say bought, but I actually won this one. So yes. Oh, actually, one more thing is actually this here. So this is obviously like bars, which I don't, if I remember correctly, my Arthur Williams didn't have this. So basically it's bars, so if you're travelling two horses that might not necessarily like 100% love each other, it's great because they can't get to one another. And also you can actually pop, it's like a black sheet, so you can pop it in here so that they literally can't see each other, so that when you're traveling they literally can't see each other, which is great. So, but obviously because I normally only travel one pony, I have taken that out because it just makes it lighter in area. I will say I am actually thinking about getting full length breast bars in here and taking out the partition, only because I would love to be able to tack up in here, and obviously you can't tack up in a trailer like this. Obviously if people have got 3.5 tons, I think some people do tack up in there, but I'd love to be able to tack up in here. It's just a bit too narrow to be able to do that with the partitioning. So I have also read that horses tend to travel better with more space. Some travel worse, some travel better, but I think the like common denominator is that horses travel better with more space. So I may actually trial buying some full length breast bars, but they are quite expensive. I think they're about £180 each, so it's obviously like £400. I'd still keep the partition just in case I ever needed to travel 2 horses, but for me going out and about on my own, it'd be really handy that if raining or whatever, I could literally just tack up in here, get off and get on basically. I am actually just going to reverse my trailer back into its spot and unhitch it, so I'll show you the unhitching process and show you the jockey wheel and everything when I do that. So this is like the easiest trailer ever to unhitch. So I would just pop the handbrake up, and then the jockey wheel is actually an automatic jockey wheel, which is very, very easy to do. Literally just wind it down and then automatically starts to come down, and then when it hits the floor, I'm just gonna take off my breakaway cable and my electrics. Super easy. Start winding it up, and then there's a little lever underneath the handle that I'd lift up, and then we'll just pop off. So I've just dropped it back so that I can pop the hitch lock and stuff on. Yeah, so the hitch lock is a SAS one, and I actually always forget which way this goes on. I think it goes on like that, and then there's a little thing on here that's like unhitched or hitched. So you can use this, like if I've hitched up somewhere and I've like parked it on the side of the road because I'm going hacking, I actually pop this on, because like obviously it says you can use it hitched. So obviously unhitched, so that's the right way. Literally just pop it in here. Oh, she says. So yeah, literally just pop it in there like that, close it up, and then use the key to lock it. There we go, that's locked. I then also actually just pop this little cover on because I do want this trailer to last me like literally forever. So yeah, I pop this on. That concludes my Cheval Liberte touring trailer tour and what I keep in my trailer. If you like this video, please subscribe and drop a like, and maybe even drop a comment as well, because I would really, really appreciate it. I'm so close to 300 subscribers, so if you could do that, that would be absolutely amazing. So yes, thank you for watching, and bye guys.